The word yoga means unite or yoke and refers to the unity between the self, that is also called Atman in Hinduic religion, and the world soul Brahman. Brahman is a part of the Hinduic trinity, Brahman, Vishnu and Shiva. So, in translation, I am going to yoga is I am going to unite or take the yoke of the Hinduic god Brahman. So by saying I'm going to do yoga is like saying I am going to worship a Hinduic god. You shall have no other gods before me, Exodus 23. Think about it. If yoga were just an exercise, why are there a multitude of prayer positions? In the Bible, you will find no references that justifies yoga. I will show you references from the Bible that tells us that yoga is a pagan practice of worship and nothing else. Many times in a yoga class, there is the chanting of mantras implemented into the practice. These mantras are spoken in the ancient language Sanskrit, and most uneducated practitioners do not know the full meaning of the mantras they are repeating. Matthew 6:7. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think they will be heard for their much speaking. A heathen is a person who do not acknowledge the God of the Bible, a person who is neither a Jew, Christian, nor Muslim, a pagan. The most common mantra is Aum, found in Upanishads, founding philosophical Hinduic text. A is for creation, U is for preservation, and M is for destruction. Aum represents the trinity of Hinduism, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. According to Hinduic religion, Brahman is the creator, and the letter A represents Brahman. U represents Vishnu, and M represents Shiva. Chanting Aum is the worship or summoning of the Hinduic trinity, whether you are informed and aware or not. Exodus 34:14. You shall not worship any other god before me. Hatha is the most common yoga form practiced at the gyms here in the West. Hatha means willful or forceful in Sanskrit. Hatha is also a combination of two words, ha, sun, ta, moon. In the Hatha yoga class, you have a combination of asanas, so-called yoga postures, called the sun salutation, and another combination of asanas, yoga postures, for the moon salutation. Not many modern people has the time to stop to analyze why they are saluting the sun at the gym or why they are bending down saluting the moon. Yoga is first found in the most earliest writings of Hinduism, such as Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and more. This was Hinduic worship of the creation back then and is today practiced the same as what was documented in the early writings of Hinduism. Saluting the sun and saluting the moon is worship according to Hinduic sacred texts. You shall not worship the creation, Deuteronomy 4:19. And when ye look up to the sky and see the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the heavenly array, do not be enticed into bowing down to them and worshipping things the Lord your God has apportioned to all the nations under heaven. Deuteronomy 17:3. And hath God served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or the moon or any of the host of the heaven, which I have not commanded. In yoga, one can achieve a higher consciousness, God consciousness, or also called the Godhead, and when that occurs, one is supposed to be enlightened, believing that the self is God. This happens when the serpent Kundalini power travels through the chakras and reaches the crown chakra at the top of the head. Let us analyze that in the light of Genesis 3:5. For God you know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be like gods, knowing good and evil. This is told to Eve by the snake, who also is called Satan and Lucifer in the Bible. The Kundalini snake power, or Satan, promises God realization through the practice of yoga, just as a snake in Genesis promises God realization when eating the forbidden fruit. Joyofsatan.org is a ministry for Satan, writes that raising the Kundalini is raising the devil. The devil, Satan, is the father of lies, John 8:44, and he masquerades as an angel of light, Corinthians 11:14. Raising the Kundalini can be a blissful feeling of love, interconnection to all things, but can also feel like a bad drug trip, where the practitioner goes through altered sleep cycles, depressions, or even a change in personality. yogajournal.com. These symptoms are the Kundalini syndrome, or also called ascension symptoms. Don't be deceived from initial benefits of yoga. The dark side will eventually present itself, since yoga is from Satan according to joyofsatan.org, from Satan who is the father of lies. Ultimately, yoga will make you sick and disconnected from God. Yin yoga is a reference to yin and yang, where yin stands for the female, passive power, symbolizes the earth, the moon, the dark, the cold. Again, there is the reference to the moon, the worship of the creation that the Bible prohibits. The symbol for yin and yang is a black and white symbol, John 1:5. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. Why would we ever want to invite the dark yin power into us? The body is the temple of God, and God's spirit dwells in you, Corinthians 3:16. Doing yoga is inviting the devil into your body, the temple of God. Satan wants to be like the Most High, Isaiah 14:14, and that includes being in the temple of God, Thessalonians 2:4. So he will sit himself in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. Romans 1:25. They exchanged the truth for a lie and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is forever worthy of praise. Amen.